Hello everyone, welcome back to EasyTender video session. For today, we'll be doing the video session or training on how to input the slab details into EasyTender and getting the concrete and steel outputs towards the same. Now one more, in Civil Wizard, we'll be having the substructure and superstructure. So for slabs, we'll go for superstructure reinforced concrete wizard. Once you click on that, we'll go back to the same window that where we have worked earlier on the columns. So in the group sections, if you click on the drop-down arrow, you have all the superstructure elements that you can work on. The columns, walls, beams, slabs, and staircase. So today we'll be doing an example on how to input the slab details into EasyTender and getting the concrete and steel outputs. So if I click on slabs, for the shape selection we have solid slabs, and once you click on that, it will go directly to the quantity takeoff or the quantity surveying screen, we call it, of EasyTender. This is where we will input the data entry details for our slabs and the steel reinforcement main and extra reinforcement details, including the length and coverage of the steel bars. So to start with, we have the reference location, just like how we did in the column part. The part, it means which project you'll be working on. So as we mentioned earlier, you can work on multiple projects in one time. So if we have the project and the levels, this is which floor you want to work on. You have basement 2, for instance, basement 1, ground floor, the floors, 2 floors that we have assigned earlier, the roof and top roof. So in case you want to start working on basement 2, then you select the basement 2 in the drop down arrow here. And here we have the overlap factor for the main meshes. You can change the numbers over here. You can change the overlap factor over here, depending on your project. And the steel cover in centimeters, you need to include it here as well. Then we move on to the default editable data. You need to select whether you have main top mesh and main bottom mesh, and how many, and number of slabs per floor. Sometimes you have different thicknesses of slabs, so you can consider them as 2 different thicknesses or 3 or more different slab thicknesses. And then you have here number of types of extra top and number of types of extra bottom steel reinforcement. So to start with, I'll show you an example of a drawing of a ground floor. Here the slab, this is a slab drawing. So we have here one slab thickness. If we zoom in, we have a flat slab of 250 mm thickness and T12 12 dia of steel at 200 mm top and bottom slab mesh, the main mesh. So we can include that in EasyTender by placing here one slab, and once you click on one slab over here, the data entry fields will be opening for you. So we will start for the concrete data entry for the slab. In here you need to include the slab. You can change the name, so we can just name it slab 250 mm, and then the area of that slab you can probably do it through the manual method, or if you have softwares like quantity takeoff software like on-screen takeoff or PlanSwift software, so you can take off the area of the slab over there. The area of this particular slab I have is 372 square meters, so I'll change it to 372 square meters. And then the thickness of the slab in meters, you need to include the thickness of it, so we'll put it as 0.25 meters. And then openings, area for deduction. You can include the area for the stairs, the lifts, or any other deduction that you might need to include for the slab. Next, we have the main meshes and extra reinforcement data entry. So we have the main bottom mesh and main top mesh. So for the main bottom mesh, you need to include the dia in millimeters of the steel bars. So here we have in our drawing 12 mm, and the spacing in meters, 200 mm spacing, so we include as 0.2. For the main top mesh, exactly the same, we have 12 dia at 0.2 meter spacing. Next, for any extra top and extra bottom steel reinforcement, you either have one of the two options. You can either click the drop down arrow here and include how many extra tops you have, and same thing for the extra bottom, or you can right click here and then you have an option add extra top and add extra bottom, and in case you were mistaken for any row, you can delete the specific row. So back to the drawing we have over there, you need to calculate how many extra bottom and extra top steel reinforcement that you have got. So in this drawing I have my bottom reinforcement in X direction, and in this part I have the Y direction. So you need to calculate how many extra bottom you've got. For example, here we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 bottom reinforcement in X direction, and here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, another 5 in the Y direction. So I have a total of 10 extra bottom reinforcement, of which we need to include in EasyTender. So you can simply click the drop down arrow here and include 10. So once I clicked on 10, the fields here will be opening for you. EB1, extra bottom 1, extra bottom 2, 3, 4, etc. up to 10. And for each extra bottom reinforcement, you need to include the dia for the bars and the spacing as well. After you've done that, we'll then move on to the details for each extra bottom reinforcement or each extra top reinforcement, where we need to include the length of the specific bar, the length of coverage, and once you include the length of coverage, EasyTender will automatically count the number of bars. So let's go back again to the drawing and check the diameters for the steel of the extra bottom reinforcements and the spacings of them, and we'll include a few examples like for example EB1 and EB2, and we'll include the details for the length and coverage basis, and I'll show you the results once we're done. So back to the drawing, let's take for example these two, E10 at 0.2 meter spacing, and we have another T10 at 0.2 spacing of the same length of the bar and almost same length of coverage. So to input that, so T10, we include the 10 mm dia at 0.2 spacing, and I won't repeat another one here. What I'll do instead is I'll show you an easier way. On the same one, I'll go down here, EB1, solid slabs, the length of the bar. The length of the bar is 6.7 meters, and the length of coverage is 7 meters. Now once I clicked or typed the length of coverage, please notice here the number of bars, directly they have changed to 36 numbers. And instead of repeating the same extra bottom twice and repeating the same information here, instead what I'll do is, here it says the number of repetition, like how many times this is repeated or how many identical ones you've got in your drawing. So I have to, instead of putting 1, you'll put 2. And you'll apply the same for the rest of the extra bottom reinforcement. Now once you're done, will be done from the data entry, let me say, for the quantity takeoff screen. So once we're done, you have one of the two options here below, insert and select new location, and insert selected slab and finish. Now the difference between both is, if you want to select the insert selected slab and finish, you want to check the results of the basement 2, the concrete and steel reinforcement in basement 2 only, and then go back and continue for the rest of the floors. Otherwise, if you want to continue working to the next floor and then at the very end you show your results, then you will select Insert and select New Location. So insert and select New Location, it will automatically take you to the next floor. So if we try that, you click on Yes. If you notice, we were in basement 2 and now we're in basement 1. So EasyTender has took us to basement 1, and the good thing about it is it will take the data entry that we have made in basement 2. In case you have any changes to be done, you can simply change them over here. And if you want to add anything else, of course, you can add anything for the main meshes, for the concrete data, and for the bars for the main bottom mesh, etc. And if you have identical floors and you have the similar information here to be applied for the rest of the floors, this can be done in a very simple way. If you right click here next to the slab 250 mm, you have 4 options. Now the fourth option, it says save in location. It means you need to, or you want to include them in different floors of which they are identical for this information in this floor. So save in locations, this will allow you to save this information not only in the floors of the same project, but also you can save them in different project for the floors in different project. The project is our current project that we're working on. So in case I want to save them in ground floor, floor 1, floor 2, and so on, if you have identical floors, then you can select the floor that you want to take the specific element to. This is very popular for using it in identical or typical floors. Now once you're done, you click on Save Data, and directly it will be saved in the other floors that we have chosen. Once again, in case you want to move on to the next floor, you can insert and select New Location, and it will take us to ground floor, from basement 1 to ground floor. So I'll assume we'll be done. In this case, we'll go to Insert Selected Slab and Finish in order to display the results for the concrete and steel reinforcement parameters. So if I click on that, the software has warned me that there is no changes in the current data. Do you want to insert the same data again? I'll just click on Yes. I have made no changes. And continue this operation, I just click on Yes. And EasyTender will take me to the final third screen of the software. So this is the concrete and steel reinforcement output that will be displayed in EasyTender itself. Now as you notice here, you have the reference location mentioned in EasyTender. This is our project and the level that the results are displaying for. So in this case, we have the basement 1 results. As we mentioned earlier, EasyTender allows you to display the results per geographical location of your project. So here we have the calculation sheet for the slab, and this is the concrete quantity required for our slab here. It will show you the equation parameters, how EasyTender has calculated the volume of concrete required for this slab. So if you click on this parameter here, it will show you the different dimensions that you have included for the slab itself. And you can always change different parameters here manually. Once you're done viewing concrete quantities, you can also view the reinforcement calculations for the slab. So once you click on that, it will take you to the second part of the third main screen of the software. So this is the steel reinforcement calculation part. It will show you the slab that we have worked on, and once again, this is the reference location that we're currently viewing the results for, again for the basement 1. So it is showing you the steel ratio, kg per unit, for this particular slab, and here it will show you the item breakdown reinforcement schedule. So these are for the shape groups of the steel bars and the steel description, along with the details of the steel bars that we have included earlier in the data entry sheet, and it will display for you the total weight for the steel bars for this slab, and it will display for you the weight individually per steel shape group and steel description. So here we have the chairs, the main bottom mesh, the main top mesh, extra bar type 1, extra bar type 2 that we have included, and the total weight for them. And this is the steel ratio for this breakdown as a whole as 85.97 kilogram per unit. You can also manually here change the shape of the chairs that are default selected by the software itself. So if you click on any of these steel bars at L, the length in meters, if you click on it, it will take you to the steel shape variables. So in here you have the different dimensions related to this specific default shape that the EasyTender has chosen for you. And in case you have or you need to do some customized steel shape codes that you need to use, you can go to equations and shapes. So here, just to give you information, here the length of A, B, C, and D related to this shape code are displayed here, and also the number of bars required for the chairs are also displayed here, of which you can change manually as well in this section. And as I said, in case you want to change the shape code or the shape of the steel chairs here, you can select on equations and shapes, and it will take you to the different types of steel shapes that is embedded in EasyTender. So you can choose whatever shape code that you wish to use instead of the default one that the software has chosen for you, and input the dimensions for the same. And once you're done, you input the dimensions and click on close. Now you can display these end results through the reports that will be issued in a BOQ format. So you can go back to the main screen of the software or back to the quantity screen or quantity surveying screen. So if I click on that, it will take me back to the quantity surveying screen, back to the concrete part, the volume of the concrete for this assigned level. And of course you can display for the different levels, for basement 2 for instance, because we have taken the same information from basement 2 to basement 1 to basement 1, so we have the same outputs. Alright, so let us display the results or the reports towards the outputs that we have seen in the third screen of the software. So we'll go to the reports, and once we click reports, you have more than 10 options of reporting solutions. The main one that I need to show you in this video are 3 different reporting solutions. One is the custom location by EasyTender. 2, the project steel report we'll be viewing also in this video. And 3, the bar bending for check and approval purposes. So the custom location for EasyTender or done by EasyTender, once you click on that, you'd get this small screen. Now here in this option, you have the opportunity to choose which floor you need to display in the report. So for instance, we only worked on 2 basements, basement 2 and basement 1. And this is why the rest of the floors are not displayed, because we have only worked so far on those 2 floors. Once I click on next, you can hide the header or the logo of the EasyTender in the reports. So I'll show you how the reporting is, how it is issued, and then later on you can change different options according to your needs. So let me click on view, and once we're done, you have this BOQ format report. It will display for you the name of the project, the number of the project over here, and it will display for you the selected locations that we have chosen earlier. So this is the name of our project, which is the project, and then basement 2 and basement 1. Over here we have the reporting in BOQ format. This is the superstructure cast in situ concrete. So this is concrete required for the slabs that we have done, as 186 cubic meters of concrete needed, and similarly for the formwork required for the slabs, as 744 square meters. You can use this report to be exported or printed and you can even save it to Excel in case you want to add any customized elements and rates. Even rates you can include in EasyTender and it will be calculated for you, which will be essential for estimators. This is report solution 1. The other report is the project steer report. If you click on project steer report, again you have the option to select which floor you want to display the results for. Once I click on next, again you can show the logo or hide it up to your need. And then once I click on view, the report in BOQ format again will be displayed. So this is a project steer report for our demo project for this video. And in here we have the diameter displayed for the steel bars that we have used in this project so far. Remember, we have used 10 and 12 millimeters in the slabs, and it shows you how many pieces required and the total length in meters related to each diameter, the number of 12-meter bars, and the weight required for each. And you can also data filter the elements that you want to display. So we have here selected our project, and here you can select, for example, basement 2 or any other floor which you need to display. And in case you worked on beams, slabs, columns, etc., you can even filter how much steel required per element. And not only that, you can also display or filter the diameters as per your need. And click on apply. This is only the results displayed for basement 2. This is the second reporting solution that I suggest for the end users. The other reporting solution that I would be issuing in this video is the bar bending for check and approval purposes. So once more, you can select the floor you want, next, and then view. Now this is the bar bending schedule that is required by the end users to display in their reports. So here you have the item breakdown, the volume of the slab, 200 mm that we have worked on, related to basement 2. So you can display through different levels. Here in basement 2 we have the steel and the number of bars needed. Even it will show you the shape and the parameters dimensions in millimeters. So it will show you the chairs, the main bottom mesh, the main top mesh, the extra bottom bars that we have used, and the shapes of them. This is for basement 2. If you click on the next page, this is a continuation of basement 2. And once more, you can use the data filtering to filter different levels or different floors in your project to display, and different elements in case you were working on beams, slabs, columns, walls, staircases, etc. Since we only worked on slabs, so the only option here we have is slabs. Thanks for watching.